development used to mean months of work, a team of developers, a budget for artists, and a game engine you spent weeks learning. I'm going to show you something that wipes all of that out. I built a fully playable, branching, cinematic, interactive game in about 10 minutes. With a story, multiple endings, custom visuals, and real choice-based gameplay. No code, no art team, no complicated workflow, just an idea and RealQuest. Go to RealQuest and sign in. You'll land on the home feed showing games other creators have already built. Before we start, spend a few seconds scrolling through the feed. You'll see completely different types of projects here. Open world adventures, RPGs, interactive stories, and everything in between. That's what makes this platform interesting. Now let's create our own. Click Create in the top navigation. The first thing RealQuest asks for is your game idea. This foundation prompt is the most important part of the entire workflow because everything builds from it. For this project, I'm creating a cyberpunk detective thriller called Neo Tokyo, The Missing Engineer. I'll paste my foundation prompt here. Take a second to read through it because this prompt is going to define the story, characters, atmosphere, and player choices for the entire game. Once that's in place, I'm selecting Adventure as the game style. You'll also notice an option to upload reference images. We'll come back to that later. For now, let's let the AI generate the initial version. Click Create Game. Now let the editor load. Don't skip this part. One of the biggest selling points of RealQuest is how quickly it gets you from idea to playable content. The first scene appears automatically. We've got a rainy rooftop, neon reflections, a detective standing over a crime scene. Already the atmosphere is very close to what we described. But before we start building the branching story, I want to lock in the visual style. This is something I recommend doing for every project. Instead of generating 20 scenes immediately, generate a handful of key images first and make sure the look and feel are exactly where you want them. Let's start with our opening rooftop crime scene. I'm pasting in the prompt from my storyboard. Then I'm adding my denoising prompt. And I'm adding my lighting prompt. Now let's generate. The result looks great. The detective silhouette is readable. The neon reflections are working. And, most importantly, the image is bright enough to hold up across future generations. Next, I'm generating the corporate implant clue. Same workflow. Paste the scene prompt, add the denoising prompt, add the lighting prompt, and generate. This establishes the technology design language for the story. The implant glow looks good, and the visual style is staying consistent. Now let's create the hologram informant scene. Again, I'm pasting the scene prompt, adding the enhancement prompts, and generating. This gives us another key visual reference point for the project. Notice how the holographic blue lighting matches the earlier implant scene. That's exactly what we want. Next is the underworld contact. This scene establishes the criminal side of Neo Tokyo. I'll paste the prompt to apply the same enhancement settings and generate. The neon atmosphere is working really well here. And finally, let's generate the engineer reveal scene. This is the climax of the story. I'll paste the prompt, add the denoising prompt, add the lighting prompt, and generate. Now we've got 5 strong images that define the entire visual direction of the project. At this point, I know the art style is working, so let's move on to the gameplay. Go back to the opening rooftop scene. Click the full screen icon and take a closer look. Notice the neon reflections on the wet ground. Notice the depth between the foreground and background. This already feels like the opening shot of a detective game. Now, close full screen and click Edit on the first scene. The image editor opens. This is where you can regenerate images, upload your own artwork, add reference images, and build interactions. If a scene ever comes out too dark, too noisy, or just doesn't match your vision, this is where you fix it. Now, let's build the player's first choice. Click Add. Interaction point. Drag the first interaction point onto the scene. Label it. Examine the body. Now add a second interaction point. Place it somewhere else on the scene. Label it. Call your contact. And that's the core gameplay loop right there. Scene, choice, consequence. Let's build the first branch. Click Examine the body. Select Link to New Scene. For this one, I'm using my implant investigation prompt. I'll paste it in, add the denoising prompt, add the lighting prompt, and generate. Once it's finished, preview the result. The implant detail is clearly visible and immediately pushes the mystery forward. Now let's create the second branch. Go back to the opening scene. Click Call Your Contact, link it to a new scene. This time I'm using the hologram contact prompt. I'll paste that in, add the enhancement prompts, and generate it to preview the result. Now compare both scenes. One focuses on investigation. The other focuses on information gathering. Same starting point, completely different direction. Now let's open the canvas view. This is where things get really interesting. Every scene becomes a node. Every choice becomes a connection. You can already see our opening scene branching into two paths. As your projects get larger, this view becomes incredibly useful. Let me show you the complete structure I've built for this game. The opening crime scene branches into two choices. Examine the body, or call your contact. The investigation path branches into hacking the implant or photographing the evidence. The contact path branches into threatening the informant or paying for information. Those four paths eventually converge into two larger story routes: the confrontation route and the discovery route. And from there, the game reaches three separate endings: the rescue, the compromise, and the truth. This gives players meaningful choices without creating an impossible amount of content to manage. Now let's add another layer of branching. Open the contact scene. Click Add, Interaction Point. Create the first option. Threaten him for information, then create a second option. Offer to pay. Let's build the threat branch first. I'll paste in my confrontation scene prompt. Add the denoising prompt. Add the lighting prompt, and generate. Preview the result. The tone immediately feels more tense and aggressive. Now let's create the payment branch. I'll paste in the negotiation prompt, add the enhancement prompts, and generate. Preview this one as well. Notice how the mood changes completely compared to the threat path. At this point, we already have multiple layers of branching and several unique story outcomes. Now for an advanced feature, RealQuest also supports minigames directly inside your story. Open any scene, add an interaction point. Instead of linking to a new scene, choose Import Web Page. This allows you to embed external browser-based experiences directly into the game. For example, you could create a hacking puzzle, memory challenge, or timer-based minigame and connect it to a story decision. That's a great way to add actual gameplay between narrative moments. Before we publish, let's talk about visual consistency. Go back to Scene 1. Open the image editor. Click Upload Image. Now select a strong reference image that matches your project's aesthetic. For this cyberpunk game, I'm using a bright neon image with strong magenta and teal lighting. From this point forward, future generations will stay much more consistent in terms of color palette, atmosphere, and character design. Once everything looks good, click Publish.RealQuest generates a shareable link instantly. Open the published version in a browser. This is exactly what your players will see. No installation, no downloads, no complicated setup. Just click the link and play. Let's test one of the choices. Click the interaction button. The next scene loads. And that's the final result. A playable cyberpunk detective game with branching storylines, multiple endings, custom visuals, and interactive gameplay. Built from prompts. Built without code, built in minutes. The link to RealQuest is in the description if you want to try it yourself. And If you want more AI creation tutorials that focus on actually building things, make sure you're subscribed. I'll see you in the next one.